right. Whew. Man, that was an unbelievable day for the Dolphins. And it was so like mind-blowing for me. And it was kind of like a sugar high. It took me really high. And then I wanted to get away from it. I wanted to step away from it. And I didn't want to really make any, really broad-based evaluations on the film until I got the all 22. So today I'm going to go over the Dolphins offense and show some stuff, and the run game and show some stuff. And I don't know if I was a big comic guy in the 80s. I stopped reading them in the mid-90s because I thought they sucked at that point. But in the mid-80s, a thing that everyone loved was the what if. Like what if Captain America got hit with gamma rays and he had the shield and was like Hulk with the shield, stuff like that. We all thought that was really cool. So in a way, this kind of feels like, this film study kind of felt like what if Dan Marino was given the 72 offense. So 1984 and 72 combined, that's the what if for this film study. But I'm going to do it in a very fair evaluation because right now the hyperbole with the Dolphins is through the roof and it's great. We Dolphin fans need this kind of stuff. We've been suffering for a long time. I said right after the game, the Dolphin fans that go to the game, that dump tons of cash, they got to sit in the heat, sit through bad games. They deserve this the most. And that was one of the first things I thought about. I was really happy for them. Obviously happy for all of us, happy for the players, happy for the staff and the franchise and all that. But this game is a bubble. It's a formula. And if you want to just enjoy it, that's fine. You should. But that formula might not translate exactly the same. And so with all the hyperbole, people up here, they're thinking, we're going to run for 200 yards. We're going to score 50,000 points a game. And I want to show through this film that you have unbelievable talent. And this offense reminds me of Mike Tyson. And, Mike Tyson, you might say, well, Mike Tyson was a power guy. We're a fast guy. It doesn't make any sense. Mike Tyson would overwhelm his opponent. He'd overwhelm it with speed. He would overwhelm it with ferocity and with power. We do the same thing with speed. We overwhelm teams. And if you remember Mike Tyson, it's kind of like what we're seeing with this Dolphins team. If you got any weaknesses or you're an inferior opponent, you get destroyed. Remember Spinks running around us, So this team has so much speed. It overwhelms bad defenses and bad staffs. And so what I want to show through this film is all the talents that are overwhelming the defense, but also understand it's a bad defense and the flaws on the defense. And this formula is critical to understand because if you want to evaluate and extrapolate it to other defenses, it's important to keep yourself even keeled through the season because this is the high point of the season for offensive output. But you're going to have much stiffer opponents and it's going to change depending on environments and all this stuff. So we're trying to evaluate. So it's not debatable. Every single play in the NFL happens because of this formula. Offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator call plays. How those plays mesh, one takes advantage of the other one takes advantage of the other, that's how the table's set. Now, there are audibles within that can adjust that, but ultimately when the ball snapped, the play that's called is going to be, if you have a run blitz and they're running a football, it's no bueno for the offense. If you have a run blitz and the offense got a play action, it's usually bueno for the offense. See, savvy? That's level one. Then level two is how do the players as an individual and as a unit and then as a side of the ball perform their duties within the play and their technical skills. And then those match up. That's the first two levels. And then when you get that, then it's the talent. And this is a game of horses. And so you could call the right play, you could call the right techniques, but all of a sudden Randy Moss is super fast and he streaks down the sideline, blows the cover two, and you get a touchdown because the safeties are slow or they don't have the ability to keep up with Randy Moss. And so it's this talent that creates the separation from the calls and then from the techniques. It's the dividing factor. It's the huge variable quotient that can make the big play happen or accentuate a bad set of calls and techniques and whatever. And if all things are equal, the right calls, the right techniques, then it's the talent that does decide how the rest plays out. Savvy? So we have unbelievable speed. We are going to test every defense in this league because of that speed. There's no defense in this league that has the speed we have on offense. Now, it's more to than just that, but that speed creates the scare factor. It creates, if someone makes a mistake, they get punished and punished big. Savvy? So that's what I'm going to do in this film study. So let's get into the film. Start with the pass game. Dan Marino with the 72 Dolphins. Kind of saying, before I do that, I want to say, guys, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate all you do. Ace Per Head's betting software is the premier white label platform for bookies to manage their players and grow their sportsbook operation. Click the link in the description below to get set up in minutes. Ask for the Curtis promo and get a special introductory discount. All right, let's open up with that unbelievable touchdown pass from Tua to Hill. I mean, just mind-blowing. But it starts with a terrible Broncos defense. 31 leaves his zone for some unknown reason to double the chosen. I don't know why. It's as if Hill dips himself in anti-radar paint because defenses don't seem to pay attention to him. But it's not just a bad Denver defense. It's the elite speed of Hill to rip open the screw-up for the touchdown because most guys would have been tackled right about there. But it's not just that. This terrible Denver defense is also enhanced by the good blocking of the Dolphins to allow Tua to go through his progressions and to see Hill open. So it's a combo package. Now look at this one. This is ridiculous. Look at this ocean of space here. I mean, this is what the defense is designed to do, but who would leave that kind of space and call this defense with what McDaniel, Hill, and Tua like to do? But it's not just that. Look at Tua's release. Look how quick it is. And look at the speed of Hill to get there, to get to that hole. Not many guys could do that. That's 2.2 seconds. 2.2 seconds to cover 18 yards. Now that is raw talent on top of a terrible call by Vance Joseph. So he has 1.2 seconds, and look at the depth of that. That's the release and speed working together. I mean, there's a lot of space there, but this is not just a bad call. It's also the linebackers not getting depth, which would have made it harder. But still, the release and speed together create enhancement of the bad defense. Now look at this beautiful play. That's more bad Denver defense. You can see at the bottom, the receiver's wide open. He could have got the easy one there, but Tua fits it through that tight window. Look at those linebackers. Drives the football to Hill for a beautiful play. Say he's got a noodle arm. I think that's a little out of whack. Now, he is a pressure. You got to get some good defense, but then you get some really terrible defense with the 11 Stooges out here by the Broncos. But it's not just a terrible Denver defense. They managed to get some pressure. They actually managed to do it. I won't say, gives up the pressure, but then Tua goes through his progressions, has composure and release to drop it off the A-chain, who lowers his weight, spins out, shows some good balance, but then it's the speed to accentuate the 11 Stooges. Most guys wouldn't be able to do this. Most quarterbacks wouldn't have been able to get the ball out, and most running backs wouldn't have wouldn't have 4.32 40 speed. And so, bad Denver defense, but 10 yards tacked on because of elite talent by A-Chain. So come back here, and you see another one. I mean, look at this, 2.04 seconds. The drop, skip, and release. Now, there's a lot of pressure there. If the release wasn't that quick, this could have been a problem. But Tua's release accentuates the situation. Now, Tua again steps up, moves the pocket around. You can see bad Denver defense, a double-on-one receiver here. But he has the speed to drive that through with a quick release and his ability to go through his progressions and to freeze the linebacker and to put it in at an odd angle, and that is talent. Bad Denver defense, but talented Miami offense. Now, again, this is the best pass of the day. This is my favorite pass. Look, negotiate through the pocket and then drive the football and put it in the absolute most perfect position, because you got a safety driving down on Hill. And if he puts it in the wrong spot, Hill gets lit up. But look where he puts it. You couldn't put a pass any better than that. This was the best pass of the day. Just beautiful. Look at him going through his progressions, and just as soon as he plants, it's out. And then Hill gets in the perfect spot, beating the safety and beating the cornerback. Beautiful, beautiful play. Bad Denver defense, but unbelievable talent by the Dolphins. Now here's the chosen liquefying Surtain. Look at that, in and out. Now this is your practice squad guy. That's scary. Surtain had pretty good coverage on the day, but he was liquefied on this. Practice squad player, chosen. All right, clearly the Broncos had some bad calls. Clearly, the Broncos linebackers, you got Jesse Jewell. He's a good linebacker. He was out for half the game, but he's also slow, 4.840. Not good. You saw that they lacked getting depth. But through all that, the speed of Hill to get the depth, Tua to get the release, and the protection. Now, the protection had failings through the game, but the ball comes out so quick, and Tua is able to get that ball to Hill, who's able to use his speed to get that depth that blows it open. But even within all that, you saw the one play, my favorite play by Tua. It was the deep post. The coverage was good. The safety was in the right spot. There was even, there wasn't really any pressure, but they did everything right. But Tua put the ball in the perfect spot, released the ball so quickly, the safety had to pause for a second and couldn't get to the spot in time. And so even when you do things right, talent overwhelms it. But this pass game was about talented Miami offense and a very untalented and poorly disciplined and poorly coached defense. Now, this is good news. Every defense makes a play. And so you saw, I believe it was maybe the second game last year with the Bills. It was a high to Poyer, I can't remember. He creeped up, and then Waddle did a post. And I got caught. He knew I screwed up, but it was too late. Tua got it into the spot, and Waddle was burning behind him. And so we're not going to see 70 points a game. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe we will. I don't know. We'll see. But one little mistake is going to throw you on your heels. And when you are a defense, this puts fear in you. And this is the stuff you can extrapolate going forward. Pure fear over the speed. So now the run game, we all kind of knew the pass game was there. I think it gives a little credit to Bill, what he was able to do in his pass coverage with a wounded secondary. Shows how smart he really is. As much as I don't like the guy, it's the truth. But it's the run game. We saw a little pop by the Patriots game where we had Mostert had that big touchdown run. But this was shades of week 1 and week 2 of the preseason. And this was unbelievable. So, but we have to remember, A-Chain, big day, he had 203 yards. But 156 yards of that was before contact. He had 8.7 yards before contact. And so that A says, hey, the blocking was really good. But it also says that the Denver defense is terrible. But it says, too, that like Tyson, A-Chain's speed overwhelms gaps. It overwhelms holes. It overwhelms defense. They can't close fast enough. So it's this soup is what will translate, just not on the same consistency that we saw. But we have to understand what we saw here is a combo package. And so let's take a look at this film and see what we see. All right, let's open up with the Mostert toss play for about 15. He's not even touched till he's 12 yards down the field. Crazy. But this is all about blocking. But look at the leverage here. Carcraft with perfect leverage. Teron and Connor in perfect positioning. This is as good as it gets. But the pop block is by Carcraft. This play does not happen without that block. So people saying, hey, Carcraft's out, it's no big deal, they're wrong. But still, this is a bad Denver defense. But Mostert is the guy who has the awareness and speed to accentuate the screw-up. But we still have to be honest. Jonathan Cooper is no bueno. He's terrible. He doesn't even notice Hill in motion. It doesn't make him change his head direction. He doesn't notice Carcraft. He's not good. But still, it comes down to Carcraft making that block, the rest of the guys making their blocks, and then the speed of Mostert to accentuate a bad Broncos defense. And not every team can do that. So here we go again. This is a toss. Another big play. Toss to A-Chain. I think he's 25 yards downfield before he even gets touched. That's unbelievable. But again, the star of the show, my co-MVP, Jonathan Cooper. He gets sealed by Hill, doing what he does best, getting blocked. But it's not just the Denver defense sucks and Cooper sucks. It's also A-Chain who has the ability to cut back against the grain and Connor to get downfield, the speed and agility to make this key block, and then A-Chain with the speed to accentuate the bad Denver defense. Another toss to A-Chain for a touchdown. Nice play. You know who's going to star in this one on Denver, but it's not just that. You can see Cooper here. Oh, man, Cooper, co-MVP, getting lit up again by Carcraft. Can't say enough about Carcraft. But still, A-Chain's got to have the wherewithal to duck under this tackle and then have the strength to fight his way for the touchdown. So it's a little bit of both. Now, this is Mostert in the eye. He does a cutback. And you see Jackson has a nice washdown block by 92. But Connor getting downfield to have the agility and speed to get one-on-one with the safety and to make this block is big. This is what the play is all about. Connor is big for us. And without him, this play would have been a big, big loss or a short gain. Probably short gain. Again, this is the Connor play where he gets blamed. Hunt's coming down the line of scrimmage. But look at the leverage 99 has. Connor just can't get there in time. And so, you're ahead. You got a quarterback, so you got injury history. He's got to make a quick decision, and you got to pull. You got to hold. I mean, that's just a smart play right there. Now, here's a nice little run by A-Chain. Let's take a look at it. Now, watch what Hunt does here to 98. He just moves this guy like a sack of potatoes. This is a 300-pound guy. Then Connor seals it. And then gets to the second level, beautiful blocking. You talk about chemistry with Hill and Tua and Waddle. The chemistry between Hunt and Connor is unbelievable. And that play came about because of those two guys. Here's another one. Inside handoff by A-Chain. Again, look at this play. You see, nice wash down by Jackson. That's a real nice block right there. And then you can see the block. Oh, but look at the Hill with the hold right there. That is a complete hold. I mean, there's going to be holds. It seems like these refs are calling holds, so expect that. But that was a clear hold. I just want to put that out there because there's lots and lots of holds. But this is probably my favorite play by A-Chain, or maybe top two. I mean, this is all him. So he has to have the wherewithal to shave off 98, to break the arm tackle, then to cut against the grain instead of just charging towards the end. It cuts against the grain and gets the TD. Now, this was a kid's quote-unquote pass, but you could see in small spaces, that's where a running back his money is made, and that is nice. The shave and then the cutback and the speed, beautiful, beautiful run. Now, here goes another A-Chain cutback. This is my second or first here. I can't tell which. Now, Ingold puts a beautiful block. I mean, Jackson washes down on 99, but watch this block by Ingold. That's beautiful. But it's not just that. A-Chain. This is like quintessential running back drill. The strength and balance to put your hand in the ground and pop back up. I love this. This shows some excellent talent. Look how he's parallel to the ground and then pops right back up. Fights off 1-2 blockers, rolls, and picks up about 3 extra. I love that run. Here's a nice run by Mostert. Now, this is a zone stretch, and here's the primary hole with Connor in it. And then there's a backside hole. And a lot of backs would just hit that first one, but Mostert puts his foot in the ground, cuts off the back of Wynn to get right straight up field. The quickest route to 2 points is straight line, and then has a strength and speed to break through for 10. Beautiful run. I mean, that's beautiful run, beautiful vision and decision-making by Mostert. This is why we didn't need Cook or Taylor. Now, here's the run. This is the best run of the day. This is a magnificent run. Bad Denver defense. We all know that. But Hunt loses his block. Wynn's about to lose his block. So Denver's doing their job. But watch Mostert. I mean, he's surrounded. This is like, there's no way out. This is Houdini. And he gets the shoulder right in the ribs by 41. But the speed, his acceleration doesn't slow. It's the speed and acceleration to get the TD. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful run. Now, here's another nice run here. I love this one, too, for many, many reasons. Bad Denver defense, we know that, but watch Tehran set up the block, watch Ingalls set up the block, and then a surprise here. People say Chosen doesn't want to play. He doesn't have heart, but that's Chosen with a perfect textbook laying your body on the line block to open this thing up. But then there's my man Mostert. This guy is football. The hand in the ground, the physicality. I love this guy. I just can't extol enough about him. This is the heart of football. This is the heart of being a running back. And this guy is just wonderful. I love this. Look at this. He loses leverage. The guy gets his shoulder in him. All this, puts the hand in the ground. And even after all that, fights for 2 more. I love this guy. All right, so here's another one. This is A-Chain. Look at this. The 11 Stooges over here. I mean, this is disgusting defense. But it's not just the bad defense. Look at the speed to get past 92, the speed to accentuate the hole and to rip through and to cut back. Bad Denver defense, but 4.3, 240 is not, it's a God-given talent. And again, here you see this. Bad Denver defense, but the supreme speed of A-Chain to make them pay and make them pay big. Now, this is cavernous. You rarely see this. But most guys would be tackled 10 yards down the line. A-Chain's speed just makes you pay for every mistake you make. So there's a whole bunch of stuff going on here. You've got Vance Joseph, who's got a very vanilla style defense. And he's got poor talent, and he doesn't seem to have the feel to call things when they're needed. Where conversely, you've got McDaniel putting motion, guys not really recognize it, putting his players into a leverage advantage situation. You had loads of missed tackles, loads of inability to anchor the points, but then the speed to overwhelm those screw-ups. But even when Denver, like the one play, that Mostert play was so beautiful, where they actually won. And he was surrounded, and there was a small little hole over here, and he broke off the safety 41 coming in, and he popped it out of that little hole, and he used the acceleration speed for the touchdown. So there is a broad-based series of reasons why we did what we did, but it starts with the talent to expose the weaknesses of opponents. Now, depending on how many weaknesses they have and how often they allow it to be there and how much we accentuate it, that's going to be going forward. But this talent, this speed, backed by it's not just a fast run game, it's a fast pass game. And working in tandem, you can attack defenses like really nobody else in the league. I do still think that this offensive line is going to play a part. It's the talk now that they're unbelievable and taking a step forward. Tehran made a big difference. So far, Wynn's been doing a good job. Connor is key. If we don't get Connor in, as you saw there, it's going to be a little concern. We'll see. Hopefully he's in. I got to check the practice today. Hunt's playing out of his mind. But Jackson is doing a little bit, but he's got some issues. Let's see how this offensive line plays out. But if they can block like you're seeing here, then the rest of the stuff is going to happen. And so that's the key. This offense is special. It could do special things. This week versus the Bills, this game against the Broncos was a floor testing. like what you do to ineptitude, and you obliterate it. Now you'll see with the Bills, this is a good team with both offense and defense. You might debate on what it is, but it's still best team we've played so far on the road. This will be a ceiling evaluation, and I am dying to see it. Anyway, Curtis saying, thanks for stopping by. Hope you enjoyed. Catch you next time. Be well. Tommy, go Fins. Start building your own online sportsbook today by getting signed up with aceBread.com service that'll allow you to book action on sports from all around the world.